Hi guys, I'm Karen. I'm 29 years old. I'm from Oban originally, but now I live in Inverness. I work for Milton O'Leary's pharmacy as a pharmacy dispenser and I've been there for almost 3 years. So my day-to-day tasks in the pharmacy is to fill the prescriptions, talk to patients, just ensure good customer service. We create the set boxes, which are the wee boxes that you put your pills in for every day. We order people's medications, we order from suppliers, we accept deliveries, we just genuinely provide care to the community. One thing that surprised me about pharmacy is how capable I am of actually doing the job, and also the amount of courses that are there to help you learn. There's absolutely hundreds of them, and they're all there just to support you. So what have I learned? A lot. At the beginning, paracetamol was pretty much the extent of my knowledge of any medications. Now I've learnt about hundreds of different medications, what they do, maybe what their side effects are, even how to pronounce them, which, I thought was going to be pretty impossible. I've also learnt about different illnesses and minor ailments people suffer from, which has been very interesting, how to help treat these minor ailments, even with over-the-counter products. I've sat one course so far, which has changed my job title from just an assistant to dispenser, and it even bumped up my wages. So the more courses you do, the more that you can earn, which is a little incentive to push yourself to do more, and to work your way up. So I believe that any skills you learn in any job can become transferable to another job, whether it's a complete opposite industry. Working in hospitality for so long helped me build up a lot of transferable skills, which I've found very useful in pharmacy, customer service being the biggest one probably. So before working in bars, I was quite a shy and quiet person, but I believe bar work took me out of my shell and it did make me more outgoing. I found myself in a lot of tricky situations with customers, and I learned to deal with them and how to solve them, which has been good. I have done a customer service course, which helped a lot also. You deal with a lot of people in pharmacy, so having good people skills really does help. Other skills such as placing orders was extremely useful. You don't want to over order items, it can become very expensive and potentially lead to waste. So being able to recognise the appropriate stock to order is a very useful skill. Knowing what we use a lot of, fast lines, and keeping them bulked up, great, and not over ordering the expensive stuff that we barely use. So cash handling, that's another great transferable skill. Although I handled a lot more money in hospitality, just being able to understand the process and being able to work out if there's any discrepancies, why, and how it's happened is been great. It's been a great skill to carry forward into my next job. I have done an honours degree in textile design, which is nothing in common with pharmacy at all. I do believe though the experience of being at uni and how to handle my coursework and meeting deadlines, even the way they teach you how to write your essays and things like that, has definitely helped me whilst doing my coursework in pharmacy. So my career goal is to simply work my way up to as much as I can do as many courses as I can possibly do, to finally reach a pharmacy technician. So hopefully one day, fingers crossed, I'll be able to get there. So, have I always wanted to work in pharmacy? No. If I'm being honest, the only thing that did attract me to the industry was the 9 to 6 Monday to Friday hours. Prior to pharmacy work, I worked in hospitality for a long time. It was over 10 years, and I was just fed up. I hated the antisocial hours I was working, the long hours, you know, and I felt like I reached my full potential where there was nothing else that I could learn in the job role that I was doing. I even done management too, but I was fed up with it all, and I needed a change. So one day I was just scrolling the job sites, and I came across the pharmacy position, and I applied. As I said, it was the hours that really attracted me to it. And I actually forgot I'd applied for the job, and 2 weeks later I got a phone call asking to go in for an interview. So went in, had an interview, went back for a second interview, ended up with the job. So haven't looked back since at all. At first I was a bit nervous about leaving everything I knew and taking this new career path into pharmacy, but don't regret it one bit now. So at first, when COVID-19 started, I was on maternity leave. However, 3 members of our normal staff all had to go off in isolation. So I really wanted to do my bit to help, and I went back to work just for 3 weeks to help, and it was just complete chaos. The prescription numbers had increased majorly, so we had to put a system into place. So it was one person in the pharmacy at the one time, everyone else had to wait outside. They also had to just stay on the doormat. They were advised not to come forward into the pharmacy any further unless advised by one of the team. That was just to kind of keep the distance between us and the customer to protect both parties. We only had a small amount of sanitizer, we had some disinfectant and some gloves to begin with. Then we eventually got some masks. My boss ended up putting up a big perspex screen in front of the counter just to give that a little bit extra protection between, you know, patients and ourselves, which was really, really good. It was a very stressful time and patients were panicking. This led to, of course, some patients over ordering medications. That meant like the drug supplies were running low, suppliers were out of stock of a lot of day-to-day medications. Even for the first time since I've seen, paracetamol was running low, which is quite scary. However, time went on, we managed to power through the workload, we managed to ensure patients got what they needed. We have a delivery service in the pharmacy, and so we upped that. Our delivery driver was just delivering to most people, especially the vulnerable ones that suffer, you know, like with asthma and the elderly, you know, pregnant women, anybody that seemed to come in the vulnerable category. And that also reduced the number of patients coming into the pharmacy itself, which kind of lowered risk for us as well. Although it was really stressful, I was really glad and happy that I could do my bit to help through the horrible time. Just knowing that people got their medications that they needed, they got them on time, and the way the team worked, it made me proud of what we were all doing. I think sometimes people don't realise the amount of work and importance of pharmacy. They've been open and continued to serve through all of this pandemic, and I'm proud to be part of the industry. My maternity leave is now over actually, and I'm going back part-time, so I'm looking forward to continuing to helping people and do my bit, especially just now through this time. Just glad that I can help. So my advice for anyone considering pharmacy as a future career would be to, well, for a start, never doubt your ability. I never thought I'd be clever enough to work in pharmacy with all the drugs and to know what they are, what they do. But I worked hard, I focused, and now I find myself extremely confident in the job I'm doing. Pharmacy is a door that opens so many different career paths, so you have so many choices. and opportunities to learn. You'll never find yourself knowing everything on board, that's for sure. It can be stressful at times. Patients can get impatient, but in community pharmacy you also build a good relationship with people, you get to know people, and you really get a community feel, which is quite nice. It also feels good to know that I'm helping people, and I'll definitely continue to do so as long as possible. And I actually never thought that I would find a job that I love doing, so that's a bonus in itself.